Which crew member gives the best presents? Who is most likely to hang mistletoe in every door? And will Izzy participate in winter holiday festivities? This and much more ahead on a very special holiday episode of Our Flag Means Fanfiction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Hey, hello.
It is a super exciting festive holiday. Yay, Christmas, Yuletide.
I'm honestly like the Grinch here. I really do hate the holidays.
Do you?
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I like, it depends. I like the idea of holidays, but like it's a lot, especially when you work retail and things like that, you know? So it is, I'm not like, I have a friend who's like a super duper Christmas person, and that is not me. I'm not hardcore into Christmas, but I can appreciate a good holiday special, which is what we're giving you today. So, hey, hi, welcome to Our Flag Means Fanfiction, where we talk about Our Flag Means Death and fanfiction and everything in between. And today on the podcast, we have with us Carly, writer, podcast host, astrology girly, gender neutral.
And thank you so much, Ringa, for hosting this today so that I didn't have to.
Of course. I love to host a party. And we have Abby, the reason any of us know what's going on in the fandom ever, because Abby runs the, what is it called? The what do you call it? The update, the daily recap.
Yeah, they're the I don't know, daily OFMD recaps on the renewal repository. I made that really complicated for like no reason, but I wanted it to sound effective.
Our Flag Means Death updates that you see on Tumblr and basically everywhere else. And she just collects all the data and puts it in one nice little package for us. And
but what I'm really excited about is what you have on the agenda today.
Me, Ringa. I'm Ringa, and I need to tell you all that I'm the scum of the fandom if you didn't hear yet.
That's what Khan said. Khan said you are the scum of the fandom.
And he said that to his line because I didn't exactly call him old. He asked if he was too old for something, and I said yes. And he said that's the scum of the fandom right there.
And when you're talking about, we should actually clarify, we use so much like shorthand on this podcast. When we talk about Khan, we're talking about Khan O'Neill, who plays Izzy Hands.
If you don't know who Khan is.
I know. I'm just clarifying. And then on the line, we are talking about the line at the Columbus convention, Galaxy Con Columbus. And Khan had a line there. And Ringa just was a really excellent fandom person who just talked to everyone there and got Khan O'Neill and Nathan Fode to be on our podcast, on our Gay Pirate News Hour. And they said a few short words. A little bit disappointed in Khan, how very few words he gave us, but Nathan was a delight.
Khan was in the midst of like his death throes.
No. I'm being only.
Yeah, I know you are.
Serious.
If anyone hasn't heard, Khan at Galaxy Con Columbus unfortunately got food poisoning on the Friday evening, like right before they were only there on Saturday and Sunday of the convention. So he flew into town early just to see Vico's show, which, it wasn't Vico's show. It was like the fandom's show, the drag show. But Vico was
supportive.
Yeah, he flew in to see, and Nathan's boyfriend decided on a sushi place. Let me tell you guys, sushi in Ohio, I feel like you have to be careful.
Oh my gosh, Columbus, Ohio sushi, dear God.
So Khan O'Neill got food poisoning from Columbus, Ohio.
He doesn't understand. He lives on an island.
Yeah, and somebody was like, why would you trust Nathan's boyfriend? And I'm like, so poor guy was just like chugging Pedialyte all weekend, and he was a trooper, and most people I feel like would have just canceled, but he came and he was amazing to everybody. He was a little loopy on some meds, I think, at some points, but very kind and gracious as always, and went and did the whole panel. And the panel, I believe, drops tomorrow on YouTube, which by this point, whenever you're listening to this, will be in the past.
Yeah.
So it's the future for us, the past for everybody else. So the 18th, it should have dropped on YouTube. And so you can watch it. But he just basically sinks into the couch and stays put there, and with his giant bottle of Pedialyte. And
gosh. But I am very excited. You have holiday greetings from the cast and crew for us. And then we should hype that up. So Ringo reached out to the cast and crew and said, hey, do you guys have holiday messages for the fandom?
And I got a couple responses in the 24 hours that I gave them to get back to me because, it's December and everybody is busy. And so the planning of this happened like basically yesterday. So
I am hyped to find out who responded. I am hyped. One, with you, Ringa. Thank you. Bless you. I love you. You beautiful soul, for being brave and doing this, because I am not brave with reaching out to people that I love and adore.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. And especially since most of them I have met or interacted with, anyway. So those are the ones that I am especially comfortable with. But I definitely reached out to all kinds of people. So we'll see. Maybe some of them will get back to me on another day, and we'll just have an addendum to this episode. But hey, before we get into too much fandom news, we have a validation from strangers on the internet, which I printed very tiny. Do you have this pulled up right now, Carly? Because I printed it and it's real tiny.
It says, "Hello, Carly. It's been lovely having everyone openly discussing the philosophical, political underpinnings of the podcast, since it definitely feels to me like the core of both why we are all drawn to OFMD and to fan fiction as a whole. I am one of those people who never engages directly with politics, but I quietly consider myself an anarchist. And I think it's very important to play the game most of the time and put yourself in the best position. So when you don't follow the rules, it has maximum impact. I've also really been enjoying stories from everyone going to events. I think it's great when you spend lots of time on those stories. Okay, we're going to do more of those. One thing that stuck out to me was the story about the Reese show that you said was extra, extra good, the one at the Largo. The first time he did the stool jumping, from what you said about your group meeting at the same restaurant as his family beforehand, I honestly think the reason he was so confident and in top form was because it was from the boost of overhearing how excited you all were. It's one thing for people to hype you up to your face, but extra special when they don't know you're there. I bet it was awesome for him to know there was such a big group that was excited to see him. Probably made him feel like he could be more out there without worrying if the crowd was going to turn on him if it gets too weird. Also, thanks to encouraging everyone to try podficking, I have finished a whole of the fic I started recording back in August for the podcast. It ended up being 5 hours total, plus recorded a couple one-shots and participated in the podfuckery. I don't get lots of time to record, but it's really fun. I've been trying to encourage more people to give it a go and send things into the podcast. So I will keep doing that, but I'm always happy to help out if you need anything, finding podfics for a mini-sode or figuring out content, getting recs. I love supporting the podcast. Yes, please send in all the podfics and we'll put them up on the podcast and get them out to a wider audience. That's what we're all about.
Send them in.
And this email went way longer than I expected. It's a fan mail essay for you. Keep up the great work. Yay.
That's so sweet.
Thank you so much.
That's so cute.
Also
we love fan mail. What was that?
An essay like that much is like, especially like when people get really like verbose on AO3 comments and stuff. This was like the next level. This was like,
thank you.
Whole thing. It was great.
Thank you. This sort of feedback from fans gives us life and keeps us going.
Truly.
Send in those podfics. We are an inclusive group here. If you send something in, we will put it up on the podcast. If you take the time to make a recording, we'll put it up on the podcast. Hey, if you and your friends want to record a whole podcast episode, do that. I'm trying to get other people to host this podcast so I don't have to. But get all your friends together. This is inclusive. Whatever content you make, we will put it up here.
Only the pause.
Only the pause.
Only the pause.
All right. Well, very cool. Send us more validation. We need it. We love it. We thrive on it. And let's do some fandom news real quick here before we get into holiday nonsense. So yeah, we talked about GalaxyCon Columbus, and I got 2 cast members.
Yeah, that was so exciting. That made my day.
So cool.
And and Amanda, who had never been on the podcast before, that was her first time, and so she got 2 cast members.
She was probably like,
wow.
Yeah.
Best
So I
day ever.
ambushed poor Dayquil addled Con O'Neill. And
I think maybe our question, what's the most gay pirate thing that's happened to you? If someone hasn't been listening to the podcast, they're overwhelmed by that question. So
they are.
To think of,
because Con obviously already thought something very filthy, which is, fine. And so did Nathan, I think. They both were like...
Nathan and Con both went to like the extreme filthy side, and they're like, oh, I can't share that. I'm like, basically, it's just tell us a funny story of something that happened to you recently. That's all it is. But
I know, I felt bad for Nathan. I was like, how about this convention? Is this convention a gay pirate? Because he was just like, I don't know what to say. So then the next day, I went, like, Con knows what the podcast is because I bother him about it all the time. So that's what I say. If you listen or watch that Gay Pirate News Hour, I go up to him and I say, this is the podcast I'm always pestering you about.
Yeah.
So he is aware of it. Nathan wasn't, and Christian didn't really know. I didn't get to talk to Vico about the podcast, but the next
Vico
day
has one of my bookmarks. So
right. Well, they all do now. So
yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
I went up and let them pick their colors, and I told Nathan, I'm like, this is the thing that I pulled you into yesterday. And he's like, yeah, what was that about? And so I explained to him what the podcast is, and he said, oh, that's really cool. And, I told him that we do like the podfics, and we do just, talk about fan fiction and different things with the characters and the pairings and stuff, and for him to listen. And there's Lucius, episode and stuff. And he seemed very intrigued by it. So that was very nice.
And these bookmarks we were talking about, they have a QR code that takes you to the Spotify.
I brought like 3 stacks of them, like from that box, that you'd sent. I'm like taking them every convention I go to and handing them out.
Thank you.
I gave Chloe, who's another one of the co-hosts, like a bunch to hand out at the convention as well. And then I sent some back to California with Irene Adler to give to the Daddy crew. And I sent some back to England with Krill to give to, the England crew. And then the rest of them we gave out. Like Chloe gave all of theirs away.
Nice.
Like the same day that I gave them to her. And I, and people were like asking me for them. And because that we did first, there was a Izzy Canyon meetup first thing on Saturday morning. And, I had them all spread out on a table and everyone was coming to pick them up. And I heard a lot of people were telling me like, oh yeah, I listened to this and I love this podcast. And I was very surprised with how much recognition there was without
You're
me
very
having
surprised. I keep on telling you, we're like the number 47 podcast in Sweden.
I know.
It's like, that's no big deal. But
I don't know. I always feel like stuff I do is like, just because of me, not because of you guys. I'm just like, people might know of it. But yeah, we
have a huge following. We're extremely famous. You don't.
I'm so very important and popular. Yeah. And people know me, especially in the Izzy Canyon meetup, just for fandom things outside of this podcast. But then I was meeting a lot of other general fandom people that knew of the podcast and everything and listened. And one person said that they went to New Zealand and were going to filming locations and had the podcast downloaded and were listening to it as they went around to different locations.
Driving around New Zealand.
Cool. Yeah,
I was filming locations, listen with the podcast in the background. And look, we have 50 something hours of podcast content. So you could technically drive, I think, completely around the world and listen to our podcast.
Wow. Definitely do that.
Do that. Drive from New York to China, basically.
I don't think you can.
All way.
I don't think you can actually drive from New York to China.
We just need to hop on one of those drones that's all over New Jersey right now. And just,
I know, I'm so excited about the drones in New Jersey. I'm going to talk about it on Haunted Hollywood. And you should, Ringa, go outside.
Yeah, maybe a UFO. Oh God, outside.
Because the UFO in Pennsylvania.
I haven't
moved
seen
to Pennsylvania.
But you need to go outside in order to see them. That's the
I
thing.
am outside a lot, actually. I have not yet seen a UFO, but I will keep my eyes open for them. So yeah, we had a lot of people telling us that they loved the podcast, and people were very excited about bookmarks, and I was giving them out when I was standing in lines, and then people would come up to me who weren't in the line and were like, "Can I have a bookmark?" And so this is one of my favorite moments of the con was I went up to Christian and we were talking about the podcast. I gave him a bookmark, and we're telling him he seemed really interested in it, and who knows, maybe he's hi Christian, are you listening? And we were talking about, it was me and Irene and our friend Ari, and we were talking about Con, of course, and how there's a Con O'Neill episode where we ranked some of his roles that aren't Izzy for the birthday episode. I was like dancing through the dark in his twink era, and Christian's like, what? Con never had a twink era, and I'm like, oh, hold on. So I pulled out my phone of many, many folders of Con O'Neill and opened my folder to the Dancing Through the Dark folder and showed him first a promo picture from it. And Christian's like, fuck off. And I started scrolling through and showing him all these, GIFs and pictures and stuff from the movie where Con is very young and very twinky and has a little earring and a leather jacket and ladies' boots. They go on throughout the movie about how he's wearing ladies' boots, and every single picture Christian was like, fuck off. So I showed him the first ever thing that Con was in when he was 16, and he looks like a baby. And Ari was like, don't tell Con that we showed you this. And Christian's like, oh, I'm definitely going to tell him. And then I was like, and this is my favorite thing. I was like, Christian, I put my hand on his hand and I said, Christian, tell him I want him to know it was me. And it's like, oh, you got real sinister there. And I was like, Christian, that was a quote from a TV show called Game of Thrones. I don't know if you've heard of it. And
I honestly believe Christian never watches the show.
No, he knew exactly. As soon as I said that, he knew exactly what character and everything, because it's such a meme now too. And he's like, oh yeah.
Well, it took him a second to remember. Whereas a normal person, it would be like, that is a quote from Game of Thrones.
Right. But it was my greatest pleasure to say to Christian, have you heard of this show called Game of Thrones? And then a couple of days later, I asked Con if Christian had said anything to him about it, and he said no.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that will be teasing for the future, but
saving it for that strategic moment.
Right.
Oh my God. But I love Christian's always delayed reaction when it comes to quotes from his, and the rest of us are like, that's a quote from a show that you were in. That is a line that your character said.
Or when he had the rabbits, every time he has rabbits on his Ouija on Wednesdays, and everyone's like, it's the wolf, and he's like, it's not a wolf. But
I honestly think that Christian has never watched.
Didn't he mention that once? I feel like he said something like,
I don't think he's watched the show.
I have no idea. In the Columbus panel that they did, Con said the only episode, or at least for season 2, that he watched all the way through was the Calypso episode.
Con said that?
Tidbit. Con said that.
Oh my God. I just can't imagine.
Everything I do, I'm like, let me see how,
I'm such a narcissist. I've listened to this podcast multiple times, not just because I'm editing it. But
yeah, me too. I imagine if you're in movies and TV and stuff constantly, you wouldn't be as into it. I don't know.
But after I edit the thing, then I put it on when it comes out, because I try to imagine what the audience is hearing as they're seeing, and then I kind of think of, okay, what can I do better? What parts are boring? What parts do I need to cut out? Maybe next time.
I listen to it by myself, and then I make my friends listen to it with me.
That's the way to do it.
Moving right along. Hey, the Reese Christmas movie is out. Has anybody seen it? I have not.
I have.
Oh, how is it? Tell us about it.
Yeah, oh my God. It is adorable. I'm not even joking. I don't usually like Christmas movies a whole lot, but I love animations. Yeah. And it is so cute. It's sweet. And Reese's character is almost like him in real, just all about the pause, like just fantastic. Like there's so much fun, like little jokes in it, and it's very progressive. I love it. I love it so much.
Is his character like a main character, or
his character is like the dad of one of the main characters, because the kids are the main characters technically.
Sure. So, but it's not like he has 3 lines and then you never hear from him again. Okay, that's
cool.
How much screen time? Like 25% of the movie he's in, 10%.
I'd say 15, like maybe 15. It's because like they swap back and forth, like storytelling where they switch between the characters and things, and so a lot of the stuff we're getting is the kids. But then there's this kind of back storyline going on with the parents who are trying to get home to their kids, and that's where you see the most of them, and then they all kind of come back together again.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, it's on my list. I just haven't had time to like breathe. But as of
and you can buy
weekend,
Reese's pickles, right?
Yeah, there's like that Christmas pickle in England right now. Then Netflix is going hard on the branding, and so you can buy the pickles that I guess probably taste like Reese.
And then there's like a little picture of his character like on the side of the pickle jar.
That's amazing.
If you're in England,
can somebody just ship me
Reese's pickles?
Right? Can you send me some? Whoever.
I'm sure they send you some.
Yeah, I think people in the US would be more than happy to pay top dollar for that pickle jar. People in the UK, Krill, I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Get on collecting those pickle jars.
We're going to go on eBay and there's just going to be like pickles for like $1 million or something ridiculous.
It's very funny how that has worked out, because I guarantee you 5 years ago, Reese Darby could never have guessed that people would be thirsting over some pickles with an animated character of his on them. Okay, so Vico just had Tales of the Transcestors show last weekend as well. I know Irene Adler went to it. I don't know if anybody else was able to make it out to it. Not me. I'm in Pittsburgh. And there was only like 3 shows anyway, I think, right?
Yeah, it's real short. I hope it was good. Maybe next time Irene's on Gay Pirate News Hour, she'll give us
it looks fun. If you watched like Vico's stories and everything, they showed some of the rehearsals and stuff. It looked super fun. So love seeing Vico doing all kinds of new stuff. I didn't get to talk to Vico about the podcast, but I did talk to them, and I gave them, so I always bring buttons because I make buttons for everybody, so I brought Vico several sets of them so that they could have some for Jack and Anna too, their partners. Nice. And like ones that say I love my gay partners, and ones with like the little poly symbol on them. And I gave Vico one of my buttons that says if you don't have your own dick, store-bought is fine. Good stuff like that. So yeah, they were a delight as always, and seemed to be having the best time. They are just like a bubbly, happy soul.
I know. So much exuberance and energy and loveliness.
You can watch most of their performance at the drag show on different accounts online, but like they came and did Izzy, drag, and did a part of it was then like speaking along with Con's lines from the show and stuff, but they also did like a dizzy steady hands kind of thing because they're one of us.
I saw there was a Steed picture on like a punching bag. Was that it?
Yeah, they were like at first like punching at it and then turned to like holding it gently, and
nice.
Yes, it was very exciting.
A reminder, we have to do a Stizzy episode soon.
I know. It's
more like
listen.
Yeah, I know.
Now that Pornathon is over and all my traveling is over for a while, it's on the list. We're gonna do it.
Cool. That's me cracking the whip.
All right. So Sama has new stuff out. Know anything about the Black Ops 6?
Yeah, it's a video game. It came out this year, and it got a lot of news, and a lot of people have liked it. A lot of the gamers out there find this to be one of the ones that's,
So Samba is a voice in a game called Black Ops 6.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's doing a voice, and so is Father Teach. Damien Gerard is one of the characters as well.
Okay.
I guess they got nominated for 4 different BAFTAs.
Love that.
But reminder, video game actors are still on strike. So support the strike.
Okay.
How can we support it? I would love to.
Just support the strike by, if you see your favorite video game character actors posting about it on social media, retweet their posts about the video game strike. Get the word out there.
We can do it. All right. Samson's been in Abu Dhabi for the F1 movie. What is F1 movie?
It's about F1 racing.
Oh,
Which is a type of dog racing, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a type of horse racing. It's a
Sure
type
racing.
of motorcycle racing.
Closer.
Bicycle? I don't know sports.
It's apparently very fast cars. Very
fast
very
cars.
fast
That's why
cars.
it's called an F1 because it's fast one.
Yes, fast.
That's what the F stands for.
That's what the F stands for, fast. Yeah. All right. So is he filming? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, he's apparently a fairly big character in the film, and it's with Brad Pitt. A couple other famous folks.
I have not yet heard anything about this movie. I don't know why, as I am such a F1 fan.
Fast one car.
Fast one.
You've been slacking.
Wait, is this like a Fast and the Furious spinoff?
It's a prequel because it's F1.
It's F1.
It's the one that came before the
Fast. It's fast, but not furious.
Yeah, it's just fast.
They're just fast.
It's just fast.
They're fast and happy.
But then the next movie, F2, that's when they get furious.
Or maybe they just get happier. This is like
no, because it goes F1, which is fast, and then F2, which is Fast and the Furious, and then there's all the other ones.
Why do we have to be furious? Why are we angry at these cars?
Can't it just be fast and fanatical? You know?
Yeah.
Can
it be fast and friendly? Reese, I guess, put out a message. I didn't listen to it yet.
Yeah, TikTok. I watched it. Yeah, he just said some positive things about like, hey, I know things are hard right now, but positive thoughts.
Only the pause.
And he had lots of beard happening and the silver necklace, which did we ever find out what the story is on the silver necklace? Why everyone's so excited about it?
I did not.
Okay.
Somebody let us know in the comments.
We've been asking for like 3 weeks. What is the deal with the silver necklace?
Somebody knows and they're not telling us.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the scruffy face. It's just so cute.
Oh, yes.
The steered is back.
But also on the day that he shaves it all off, I'll be like, "Ooh, he shaved it all off. It's so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. You can see the dimples again. It's all good. It's all lovely.
Only the pause.
Only the pause."
I want to plug Alex's fundraiser for experience camps. Alex Sherman has been promoting this fundraiser for experience camps, which is a camp that allows grieving children who have lost somebody to go for free to basically like a theater camp and to learn how to do acting and stuff and to work through their tragic situations through art, and it's very cool, and it's free to the kids. So he's posting about a fundraiser. Yeah, so if you go to Alex Sherman's Instagram, there's a link in his bio to go and support that. So we want to do that. And then we have upcoming cast and crew birthdays. Just Tom is December 18th. David Fane is December 28th. And Nathan Fote is December 30th.
Capricorns. That freaks me out about Nathan. I'm like, Nathan, you're a Capricorn?
Mm-hmm. That's why he's so feisty and stubborn.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
David Fane, though, he's not typical Capricorn to me.
No, yeah. We'll have to find out what their rising signs are.
Of course, I don't actually know him, so he could have a whole secret personality that we know nothing about.
But the thing about Nathan, though, is even from a young child, he was like, I want to be famous. Mm-hmm. And that's a very Capricorn thing.
Yes.
To like have an ambition and a goal and go for it.
Yeah, that is true. All right. Well, that is the wrap up of the news.
I'm so excited. We are getting holiday messages
and stuff happening.
The cast and crew, and we don't know who it's going to be yet.
I think most of you can probably guess who I got to respond to me in less than 24 hours. These several people that we talked to. So first of all, Lindsay Cantrell, who is lovely, always gives us amazing things.
Lindsay Cantrell is the prop master.
Is a set decorator, person, and for season 2 of Our Flag Means Death, and has provided so many amazing behind the scenes pictures. You can go to her. She's Linds LINDS_Cantrell on Instagram, and you can go into her stories, highlights, and see all of her like behind the scenes stuff from Our Flag Means Death. You will recognize some of it because there's a lot of stuff she's provided us, like things we've never seen before, and just like a a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I don't know what time is. Sometime in early December, she sent me a bunch of pictures of Izzy's cabin from season 2, which I had asked her for. And oh my God, did she deliver? And we have 1 second of his cabin in season 2. So it was very nice to see some of the decorations and everything in there. And I have them posted on my Blue Sky Ringa-san. And it just collectively broke the fandom's heart because it is just so Izzy, where he just doesn't have much stuff and everything's very practical. And his bed's all like dirty and stuff because he's now a drunk, Yeah,
the anti-Steed.
And right. So
that's a fic. Steed walks into Izzy's cabin and is like, Izzy, we need to do something about your space.
And I had this discussion with Lindsay too about like, this is interesting for here, this Izzy in season 2, because I imagine Izzy before this would have like made his bed every day and his sheets are clean and his, but now this is in his depression era.
Yeah.
When we see his room in season 2, it is in episode 4 where it's right before he gets the unicorn leg when he's sitting there drinking and looking in the mirror and saying, who even are you?
Yeah.
So he's like literally at his lowest when we see it in season 2. So very interesting stuff there. But Lindsay, I caught her while she was traveling home. She just finished a project and she was flying and says to give the fandom a cheers from her. And that she's been traveling home, but that she's sending all the love, and that is her holiday message.
Lindsay is sending us all the love. Yay, we are getting love from the prop master set designer.
So sweet. Everyone go follow her on Instagram if you haven't already.
She's amazing. She really is. Like, and she just did that thing with the OFMD buys boats where like the little tiny boats, she just wrote a certificate of authenticities for them.
She did, and a bunch of them arrived broken, and they sent them to Lindsay, and she fixed them.
Yeah,
so that they could raffle more of them off. She's amazing, and is like
she's fantastic.
Loves the fandom, and will just do anything for us. Okay, the next person that I have a message from is one Dominic Burgess.
Dominic Jeffrey Fettering. Yay!
And here is his message when I asked if he would like to share any holiday greetings with the fandom. And he said, oh my goodness, yes. Happy holidays to you and your horses. Even the horses on the naughty list. But really, the OFMD fandom is such a delight wherever you are in the world, however you're celebrating or not celebrating. I hope it's exactly what you want. I'll be flying home to the UK for the first time in over 10 years on the 17th, which is today. Wow. So season's greetings from 35,000 feet.
Yeah, oh my Dominic Burgess. What a blessing.
He's so sweet.
You and your horses, even the horses on the naughty list.
And if anybody's interested, if you have Disney Plus, he's in Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars show.
Yeah. Very exciting. Yes, I love him, and he's just adorable. Another one that just loves the fandom. I think he's just tickled constantly by how much this fandom is into every aspect of the show, because his character is pretty minor but unforgettable.
We love him. Yes.
Yeah, really made an impression on us. So I asked Con if he had a message to send to the fandom for the holidays, and he sent me a little audio clip, which was unexpected.
Con!
All right, here we go.
Happy holidays, you filthy fuckers.
Con O'Neill. I want to make that my ringtone.
Right. Here, let me play it again real quick since it's 5 seconds long.
Happy holidays, you filthy fuckers.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Sentimental bastard.
I love the breathy beginning too. I thought that's so great.
Oh my goodness.
He knows exactly what we want to hear too.
Oh, he knows. So now Con has been on the show twice.
One of these days we're going to get a 30-minute interview with them.
It'll be exciting. All right. And then the last person from the cast and crew that I have a message from is going to lead right directly into our holiday headcanons section of the show, because
who is it? I'm so excited. I don't know who it is, but
asked this person if they had any personal holiday headcanons for the characters. And I feel like as a writer, their opinion of this holds a little more weight. So Mr. Alex Sherman.
Oh, yay, Alex Sherman. Oh
says, my first thought was Izzy as the Grinch.
Yes.
Stewing below deck, trying to ruin everyone's Christmas, only to receive a gift and immediately be turned. It's just so Izzy, isn't it? And the second thing that Alex said to me is kind of amazing and very in character, I think, and I love it. And he says, and Blackbeard claiming he knew / met Old Knick-Knack, his nickname for Saint Nick.
Old Knick-Knack. Oh
yes.
my God. Ed referring to Saint Nick as Old Knick-Knack.
I was like, well, that's canon now.
Oh my God. Alex Sherman. What have you given us? A gift? That was a Christmas present.
That was I was like, Old Knick-Knack is just, I was like, that is golden, priceless, because now I'm just going to think that forever. So everybody better put that in your holiday fanfics. Ed meeting Old Knick-Knack.
Like actually Ed, like meeting someone who is like Santa Claus, or most likely mentally ill person who believes he is Santa Claus.
Yes.
Scruffy beard and everything. And
or
Ed just like, oh, this crazy old man like says he's Santa Claus. And Ed's like, okay, yeah, you're Santa Claus. And Ed just goes along with it and calls him Old Knick-Knack. And brings him home to the inn. And
but especially, like I can see just Ed telling this story to the crew of the Revenge, like we see them, telling the stories at the beginning of episode 6 of season 1, when he's talking about, the Kraken and everything. He's telling them a holiday story about when he met Old Knick-Knack, and all of the crew being so into it and believing him.
And Black Pete just like, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely. And then Black Pete for the rest of his days calls Santa Old Knick-Knack only.
Yeah.
And insists to everybody that that's what it's supposed to be. It's not Santa Claus. It's Old Knick-Knack. Confirmed.
And only his friends know him as Old Knick-Knack. So
right.
It has to be true.
Yes. So, hey, about that, what do we have favorite fanfic holiday tropes? I love a good Christmas story around Christmas, like a fanfic story with some nice fluff and some nice snuggly times. And, I find that I always like a fanfic with smut in it, but Christmas fics I can kind of allow just for the fluff. If that's just how somebody wants to write it, I'm okay with that. I like cozying by the fire and, drinking eggnog and whatever people do who are snuggly at Christmas. But do you guys have any holiday tropes you're into, or are you like super no holidays, nothing?
For me personally, I'm hugely traumatized by holidays. Aww. And I know, whatever. So the thing is, like if I see like a holiday thing on a fan fiction, I'll kind of avoid it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm that person.
No, that's totally fair.
You can convince me of a holiday fan fiction that really worked for you. And actually, it's kind of crazy. My young adult novel, The Reckless Kind, available at bookstores everywhere, is a holiday book. Like it's set during Christmas. It's very like anti. It's very like gay. It's very found family. It's very like our family sucks. So we're gonna like make our own family thing. And also
that is like every Our Flag Means Death holiday fanfic, and especially, of course, I read the ones with Izzy in them, and he, of course, is always grumpy and doesn't want to do Christmas, and it brings back bad memories. And Steed shows him some love, and he is okay. I guess I like you guys. Okay, that kind of stuff. And the crew gives him presents, and he begrudgingly accepts their affection. Okay,
do you have a name of a fic that is in this vein?
I have 2 fics to recommend later when we're talking about fic recs, and I don't think either of them are quite like that, but I can send you some stuff on the DL. But and I just wrote a holiday fic for Pornathon.
Great job on the Pornathon. So funny, so great. Available over Zoom. Next time, multiple camera angles and smoke and lasers.
Well, this was our 4th one, and every time it gets a little bit better production value, gets a bit higher. But yeah, my fic that I wrote, it was all holiday themed fics, and my Our Flag Means Death one was about Steed and Ed and Izzy going to Roach's holiday costume party, and so they're dressing as Izzy's the Grinch, Ed is Max the dog with the one antler, and Steed is Cindy Lou Who, and sexiness ensues because Izzy's very grumpy and doesn't want to dress up like the Grinch and doesn't want to go to a holiday party, so they have to have sex with him to convince him to go. And,
there it is. Yeah, there it is.
He asks Ed why he's dressed like a unicorn, and Ed's like, I'm no unicorn, mate. Like he's got the one horn like Max has with the bell on it, and he's wearing it the whole time they have sex, and the bell's jingling. It's great.
Wow. You know what I like? Because I guess this is what my young adult novel does. When they fuck up the town's tradition, if there's a tradition that can be fucked up, I want to see it fucked up.
Okay.
I want to see I want to see a group of people wanting the tradition to go a certain way, and then the gay kids coming in and ruining it.
So you're basically describing Izzy, where Steed wants, Steed has in his mind exactly how holiday is going to go, and it always has to go this way, and there's traditions, and Izzy's like, but I don't want to do that, and then they fight about it, and then they make out. That's what you're talking about.
But I also kind of like the idea of the two ganging up on some rando traditional family.
Badminton.
There's the badmintons, ruining the badminton.
There's
Christmas
a very good
party.
twit fic, which I don't think ever got put onto AO3 or anything, where it's a modern AU, and Izzy owns a bakery, and Steed is like rich guy that, basically came in and kind of stole Ed away from Izzy. They were married. And then now Ed is off cheating on Steed with someone else.
What?
Okay, Ed's the bad guy in this one. So
what? Oh my God. I'm not liking where this is going.
He's whim prone. This was written like right after the end of season 2. So everyone was kind of like, all right, Ed, you go sit in the naughty corner. But Ed doesn't really, I don't think, even appear in this. This is a sizzy through and through. And Steed comes back into town, and Izzy's all like, because he's still mad that he stole his husband. And he's like, no, he dumped me. And they're kind of getting together. But the Badmintons own like a bunch of the businesses in town, and they're like the landlords of Izzy's bakery, and they're trying to find reasons to evict him so that they can turn the bakery into some, real estate agency, something boring. And they're also trying to get Steed to sell his family land that he doesn't really live at anymore, so that they can basically tear down this beautiful town and make something awful. And the crew has to work together to sabotage their plans. And, it's very good. I like that one a lot. But cool. I said it's a twit fic, but it's not, I don't think, on anything yet.
Okay.
But so actually, now that I've said that, I was going to ask if anybody prefers like canon versus AU. And I realized that a lot of the Christmas stuff that I've read to do with Our Flag Means Death is AU stuff.
Okay. I prefer canon verse. So I'd love to see
a canon verse more. Yeah.
Our Flag holiday thing where the traditional 1700s people are trying to have a town gathering festivity or whatever, and I want the pirates to fuck it up.
I think that sounds awesome, and I wonder if that exists, and I am not aware of something just like that, but if you are, you should comment and let us know, because I would read it.
Yeah.
Or
we give that idea to you. Write that thing.
Here, write it and tag us. But there's not as many, I think, of the canon verse Christmas fics for this fandom, I think, or I haven't come across them. Maybe they exist, but they're like ships I don't ship, or I don't have Izzy in them, so I wouldn't read them, but something like that. But I do love a good AU, but I don't know. There's something romantic about having Christmas on the Revenge. and having
or
decorations.
making port and then deciding to do Christmas somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah. And I said back to Alex when he was saying that, Izzy is the Grinch and everything. I was like, Steed is basically a giant elf of Christmas joy. I said they will never get the glitter out of the revenge when Steed is done with it. He will just like attack that ship with tinsel and they may never recover. I have here about how characters would respond to things like Christmas traditions, parties, if they have favorite carols, which characters might celebrate other winter holidays that aren't Christmas. And then I have a whole list of all the people.
Solstice would be,
yes.
I would love to see some pagan solstice traditions from Roach and
Frenchie, maybe. Yeah.
Buttons,
definitely.
Buttons would do some big old solstice stuff.
Buttons would like have his whole own holiday. Like he has some kind of religion that is about the ocean and birds that has its own version of a Christmas type thing. I'm sure.
It's true.
I don't know what it is.
It's the longest night of the year. So that means the birds need in Norway, and this is included in my book, there's this tradition of putting up like these big tufts of wheat on a big old long pole so that the birds can eat the wheat. And so because the seeds get covered up by the snow and stuff. So maybe there's the construction of this long pole that Buttons does that has something at the top for the birds, like a pumpkin bird seed or something. I don't know. And he calls it a ridiculous name, like the great bird pole, the great.
What if Swede brings this up as something that he's heard of?
Yes.
And
Swede and Buttons work together.
We gotta do it. Yeah. We gotta do
the bird pole, the bird rod, the goal rod, the goal pole,
the goal
post.
And they invent it. Yes.
I like the goal stuff.
They invent the goalpost. I'm also thinking of the Yule Katter and the Yule Cat. Do you know about the Yule Cat? And who will come? He's a ginormous cat, bigger than your house, and will come and eat you if you are not given clothes or something like to wear, some warm clothes to wear. So that is a very Frenchy thing, to be terrified of the Yule Cat that's going to come get you if you're not giving clothes. And so Frenchie would have to make sure to give everybody socks or something like that.
But then there's a stowaway on the ship that he didn't know about. And then he says, oh no, I never gave clothes.
Oh no, here comes the Yule Cat coming out of the water to get you. So just Steed, I feel like, is the like Christmas star. He's like probably loves, I could imagine that he had so much fun with his kids doing Christmas stuff. And
that was the one thing that he and his kids had a good time with.
What's the funny thing is everyone always talks about like, oh, he's a bad father and this and that. And like,
but they did play pirates.
Right. Like when you see them, the first time you really see them together when they're playing pirates, they're all having such a good time.
Yeah.
He's getting down on the floor and like playing with them, and they're having like these very animated, happy adventures together. And I'm like, oh no, he's a good, when I saw that, I was like, he's a great dad, because like, imagine my dad playing pirates with me. Are you kidding me? So like, I bet he would be just like let's do it all up for Christmas. And we're going to do all the decorations. We're going to have all the cool food. And like in modern day use, he'd be the like, let's go see the holiday lights and all the drive-thrus, and we're going to go see the Nutcracker, and we're going to go see just everything. And he would be like the one of like every single tradition that exists, we're doing it.
Yeah, yes. That's fun.
Absolutely.
And I could definitely see him being very teaching Ed about stuff that, Ed didn't get to do as a child.
Oh, wholesome.
Yeah.
And Izzy too. I'm sure Christmas was not a great time for Izzy.
No.
And so
and not just as children, but like all of their lives. Yeah, they probably have never had good Christmases. And so Steed
is determined to make a Christmas miracle for everyone.
Yeah. There's a couple really good, like there's one story that I didn't recommend because it's a very long story, and this Christmas era is just very small part of it, but where Ed and Izzy are both Jewish, and this is like their first holidays together, and Steed really goes out of his way to incorporate Christmas and Hanukkah all together so that when the kids come over, they're doing some of the Hanukkah stuff as well as the Christmas stuff, and they're just kind of like combining it all together. And I really like that too. I've noticed a lot of people give Izzy, like, make him Jewish, which is interesting to me. I'm not Jewish, so I wouldn't even know where to begin with him, but I could totally see that. And either way, I feel like Ed and Izzy definitely didn't have good childhood holidays and probably never did up until the moment they met Steed.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of the other crew too, you know, like I could see as we know the crew of the Revenge, them getting really into stuff that Steed brings up for traditions. Yeah. But they're all very childlike in how they respond to Steed's story times and craft times and stuff. So it would be very similar with this kind of festivities.
I like the idea of whatever Buttons is doing for the holiday is like the exact opposite of what Steed is doing, whereas it is like all joy and everything. Buttons is like some sort of dark,
and
solstice, witchy, scary.
Yes, and then Frenchie's like scared of the Yule Cat, and then somebody who's going to bring up the Krampus. So somebody's going to bring up Krampus and
the Krampus, or I don't know how to pronounce it. The Mary Lude.
Yeah,
that's because I was thinking that would be a perfect one like for Frenchie or Roach to come up with.
Maybe like Wee John, because that's a Welsh thing, so he'd be close, you know. So Mary Lude's not like terrifying, honestly, except in looks. But you know, I love to explain to people about, you know, these kind of alternative holiday mascots. Like my mom is always like, I don't know what and I'm like, Mary Lou is simple. You just have to like rap battle with them until one of you loses, and if you lose, they come in and drink all your alcohol and it's fine. You know, nothing scary about that.
Is that I literally have no idea what this thing is.
I can promise you've seen like pictures of it before. It is a
deer, I think.
It is, it's like the skull of a deer with a crown of flowers and kind of like a big hulking caped body, and you must have seen pictures of it.
Okay, I feel like I've seen that.
It's become kind of popular, you know. Yeah, but that's a Welsh tradition.
And you have a rap battle with it.
Basically, I mean, it's not like traditionally a rap battle, but you have to sing lyrics back and forth to each other, and they come in and, you know. It's like the same with, the Yule Cat will eat you, so that's worse, right? Like, but it's very easy to like keep the Yule Cat away. The same with like Krampus, you can like get him to chill off if you give him some schnapps. So, you know, there's like little tricks here, and I feel like the Revenge crew would know these tricks, right? If anybody does. But I can see Steed being a little frustrated with all these crew bringing in all the like nightmare stuff from Christmas, that he's like, no. Christmas is a happy time and everything's supposed to be jolly and festive and happy. And what are you talking about? A Yule Cat's going to eat us. And
what's Frenchie. This giant pole of knives that Buttons
right.
It's like Steed has the Christmas tree and Buttons is constructing like, knife tree to the sky, to the birds.
And I don't even know, like, what would Jim be into?
Well, Catholicism was like a whole thing with them. Maybe Jim is trying to get away from the colonizers' Catholicism and I feel like get back to their indigenous roots.
But also, like, as we saw in season 2, Jim kind of buys into the paranoia of these curses and stuff. So if the whole crew is like afraid of these creatures, I feel like it's possible that Jim, it's hard to say, because Jim can be a rational character, but also, you know, was walking around with the garlic necklace, and you don't know. Archie would just be like, yes, chaos, everything chaos, that we're
into it.
Yeah, Pete would totally buy into all the hype, and Lucius would just kind of be whatever gets him out of doing work. We're gonna just we're gonna make a very impressive Christmas tree out of knives and stuff. Let's do it. I can't possibly redo the ropes because I'm crafting Christmas.
Yes. Yeah. He's just making the little paper chains.
Yes.
The paper loop chains. And he's just sitting there in his little cross legs.
And Steve would be like, no, Izzy, you have to let them do this because it's important. It's for the Christmas party. They're doing work. You can't bother them right now. They're doing work, stringing the popcorn into garland, and
then they put up all the popcorn garland and all of Button's bird friends come and bite them.
Yeah, because as frustrated as Steed might be to have things that aren't his traditions, he would want to include everybody's things.
Yeah.
So it would be like a weird cacophony of horrors.
Yeah. And then like all of the birds that Buttons had been summoning just destroys the ship.
God. They just like descend on the ship.
And there's just like so much bird poop everywhere, just like white globs.
Oh gosh.
Oh no.
That's the snow. No.
Yes.
All right. Well, on this same subject, we're going to play a little game of Most Likely To with the Revenge crew. First, I have some questions about canon verse characters. All right. Who would be the most likely to be the most festively dressed?
Steed.
I feel like yes, but also think of how excited Ed, yes, Ed too. But then think of how excited everyone was to get into the fuckery and get into their costumes for all that. I was
thinking of Frenchie.
Yes, because he sews like the wind.
Yes, or Spanish. Well, I guess it would be after us too then. But Spanish Jackie, I think, would be really into the fancy.
Well,
clothes.
I mean, maybe Spanish Jackie has a party at the bar. And they all have to wear.
What if Spanish Jackie dresses the Swede up?
Oh my God.
In like the most elaborate
it would be so cute.
Outfit.
It would be adorable. It would have a midriff still, but yeah.
Yes. But I do think Steed is definitely like, you can guarantee he will be 100% dressed up. Okay. Who's most likely to give the worst present?
Ed.
I feel like it's maybe Black Pete.
Oh, no. He was so thoughtful with that thumb for Lucius.
That's true.
That was really sweet.
That's for Lucius. I feel like for anyone else.
Maybe he's a surprise. He comes up with the sweetest things. Like, I kind of like the idea of Archie, but I also like the idea of Ed trying really hard and failing so miserably at.
There's a lot of fanfics where like Izzy has to figure out what to get Steed for like Ed and
Secret
his anniversary,
Santa.
like or whatever, just because Ed doesn't know what the fuck to do, and Izzy's like, oh, this is what he wants. Like
that's cute, yeah.
Which leads into Steady Hands, of course, where it all leads. But okay,
kind of wonder if Buttons might be on that list too, because he'd be like, I have no idea what to get anybody.
He'd give them a bird,
something that means a lot to him, but other people are frightened,
like the sea kelp. Like something
like a shell of something that's still alive. Like, yeah, that's true. He would be terrifying to get a present from. Let's see. Okay, who would be the most likely to start a fight over how to decorate the tree?
Okay,
so this
I like the idea of Black Pete being really invested in it.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I'm thinking with this is like the tree has to be in all this color, or you can't put that decoration on it because that's not Christmassy enough, or something like that, and starting a big fight over it. I also am thinking of Swede and Roach fighting over the fabric when they're making flags.
Yes.
That kind of a thing where it's like, no, you're decorating it wrong and we have to start over. I feel like it's going to be one of the Frenchie Roach, John, Pete crew, yeah, because I think Steed would be a very we're gonna put on everybody's ornaments, even if it's kind of ugly, we're gonna put on everybody's ornaments. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, who's the most likely to make obscene gingerbread men?
Lucius, I would think.
Yeah, that would be what I would think too. I mean, I think a lot of them would, but I think Lucius would be the first. Yeah. Who's the most likely to say they've never seen snow before?
Something like, I keep on going back to Black Pete. Like, maybe he hasn't been around as much as he claims to be. Or also Roach, maybe.
Maybe Roach, or maybe I just like the idea of Archie. Archie's never been to a wedding, and I could see them being like, I've never seen snow before, so I don't know what it'd be like. And then Steed sails them into a snowstorm because Archie's never seen snow, so you gotta
they almost die.
Yeah. Who's the most likely to win a snowball fight? I say Jim. Jim would be crap.
Good throwing, yeah.
Yeah.
Could definitely see Jim. Well, see this. I think this entirely depends on what the rules of the snowball fight are. Because if you have Wee John and the whole point is to just like keep everyone else from being hit, like he would be really great because he could be a great defensive person. True. But like I haven't had a snowball fight in like 2 decades, so I don't know what the rules are.
I don't know how you win a snowball fight, but I feel like if anyone could do it, Jim would be right up there.
Yes.
No, I think in order to win, you have to severely injure everyone else.
Then that's gonna be a Jim thing. Who's most likely to still believe in Santa? I think that's also most of this revenge crew because they kind of believe in the little wooden boy, and
I could see it being Fang. Fang, like
Fang! Yes, definitely.
And we have to keep
Santa,
keep the magic alive for him.
All right, who's most likely to be the best present wrapper?
Good with the hands, very art, like accidentally Lucius.
Yeah,
everyone makes him
wrap the presents
wrapper, and he's kind of bitter about it.
Yeah, he hates it,
and he tries really hard to do bad at it, but then he gets so OCD about it, he just ends up making them good anyway.
Yeah. All right, who is most likely to get their tongue stuck to a pole?
Swede.
Oh, Swede. Yeah. That's so accurate.
I can absolutely see that.
Who's most likely to accidentally tell someone what their present is before Christmas Day?
Swede
and maybe Roach. I feel like Roach would get so excited. He'd be like, I just can't
doesn't know nothing about anybody or anything or So, but yeah, Swede, maybe Black Pete, because he'd be real excited about like if it was for Lucius. But okay, now moving on to some modern AU type scenarios. Who's most likely to get engaged on Christmas?
I mean, I would love for like the opposite of what's expected, and it ends up being like Izzy getting engaged on Christmas.
Yeah, and he would be like so angry about how like sentimental he feels about it. But I think,
and also like he'd be really anxious because if it doesn't work out, then Christmas is always going to be extra horrible forever. Yeah.
But I could definitely see Steed being involved, and Steed thinking it's a great idea to like propose on Christmas Eve or something like that, which is just terrible. Don't do that.
Yeah, you're going to potentially ruin someone's Christmas forever. And
which is exactly why Steve would do it. He's full of bad ideas.
Yeah.
Who's most likely to break up on Christmas?
Oh,
I feel like also Izzy and Ed perpetually breaking up.
That's a good question.
I mean, Spanish Jackie could be extra cold like that.
Oh, she banishes her husband on Christmas.
Oh, man. If by banish, you mean murders like half.
Well, I just meant banish, but
Yeah,
Depends on what they did, I guess. All right. Who's most likely to bring a fake date home for Christmas?
Frenchie.
I feel like I've seen it, and I don't know if this is just because I've read fics like this, but Steed often will bring a date to a family thing because his family's awful, and he wants them to like leave him alone about trying to find a person. So that's a big trope.
We can see that, and I want to give like Frenchie a backstory. I'm like, what if
I know? Yes, I'd love to get
especially as like an ace headcanon for him.
Yeah. Aw.
Little Ace has to pretend to be with someone.
Yeah, so his family shuts the fuck up already. I hear that.
Yeah.
All right. Who is most likely to secretly love Christmas rom-coms?
Zhang.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say all along
there. Okay.
Zhang.
I'm thinking like Fang wouldn't be like a secret.
No,
but Ivan
maybe all in.
Ivan maybe like watches them with Fang.
Yeah.
Because Fang wants to watch them, but he also actually really likes them.
Yeah, and way to bring back Ivan. Thank you.
Yes.
Ivan.
I know.
All right. Who's most likely to re-gift a present from last Christmas? I feel like this could go several ways because I could see Swede like forgetting that the person that he's giving it to is the one that gave it to him. Wee John, yeah. Or Jim just blatantly. Handing it back like with no kind of shame at all. Just like, didn't like this. Who's most likely to get into an argument at the family dinner table?
Oh.
This could be all of them, honestly.
I was going to say, Jim, Wee John. Black Pete.
Maybe as an interesting twist, maybe Lucius, because he gets to like where he's like gonna snap. Because I could see the rest of them bickering, but he's got that moment when they're on the treasure hunt and he just like snaps at Ed.
Yeah.
Or in season 2 when he like snaps at Steed over all the Steed being Steed.
Yeah, he can snap. He cannot be.
He has a threshold.
Yeah.
And I could see Christmas being like the end of that. I'm done. Everyone shut up. All right. Who's most likely to insist on taking pictures of everyone with their gifts?
I'd probably say Steed.
Probably Steed.
Or
maybe
Roach.
like Roach,
just because Samba
Roach.
real life is creeping in there.
Yeah, I could see him wanting to like document every single present. Okay. Who's most likely to make everyone participate in a TikTok holiday challenge?
I mean, it feels very Steed-like.
I feel like maybe like Roach, Wee John, Frenchie, kind of like the partier type people that maybe they'd be like, yeah, we've got to do this, and forcing like Izzy to be involved in it. Then let us do some quick greetings from some of the co-hosts that weren't able to be on this show here tonight.
Hi everyone, this is Lacey. I hope you all have a happy holiday season and a blessed, awesome, spicy New Year.
Yay, Lacey. It's been so long since we've heard from Lacey.
Yeah.
Hey babes, this is Krill. I just want to say happy holidays to the lot of you. Couldn't join you tonight because it's being recorded at about 3 o'clock in the morning my time and I do have work. But I hope you all have a fantastic holiday couple of weeks, whatever you call it, and a great 2025. Love you all. Bye.
Oh, Krill.
Yay.
Hey crew, this is Chloe. I'm gay and woke on Blue Sky, and I wanted to tell you that if this time of year is hard for you for whatever reason, as it probably is for a lot of us because we're all a bunch of misfits, that's why we love this show. Just want you to remember that we are crew for life, as Samba says, and we all have each other as community on our safe spaceship. So please remember that and have very happy holidays.
Aww, so nice. Chloe.
Hello, everybody. It's Irene Adler, con simp, feral cheese connoisseur, and fetish unicorn. I hope that you're all having a wonderful holiday. It's an interesting time of the year, and I know it can be difficult for some of us. So I would encourage you to take good care of yourself, to do what makes you happy. Don't feel like you have to be bound to traditions that don't serve you. Just do what makes you happy. This year, instead of the regular feast, I'm doing a vegetarian meal and I'm going low key. So I'm making Samba Shoot's amazing mac and cheese, and we're gonna sit around and have cheese and watch old spooky movies, and that's gonna make me happy. That's gonna make husband happy, and that's what I wish for you. Something that brings you joy this holiday. So I hope you're all well. I hope you get a lot of cheese, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday.
And finally,
Or vegan cheese.
Yes.
Thank you, Irene.
Hey everyone, it's Tanya Dixon, and I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I was so thrilled to be a co-host on Our Flag Means Fanfiction recently, and I hope that I will get to do that again in the future because let's just be honest, nobody's a Blackbeard Taika fan quite like me. I love everyone in our crew, though, of course, both on screen and all of you. So until next time, everybody have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year.
Yay!
Hello, friends. This is Baby Kraken. We just wanted to wish everyone at Our Flag Means Fanfiction and all our listeners a very happy holiday season and a Merry New Year. Goodbye, friends.
That's so wholesome. What nice messages from nice people.
Yeah, thank you to all the co-hosts that sent a message, and several people got back to me like just as we started recording this, like, is it too late? And I'm like, yep. So next year I'll start planning this before yesterday, and great. So, do either of you have holiday fic recs?
So I'm here to listen to yours.
Okay. Abby, do you have anything?
I really have been enjoying the OFMD Advent Calendar 2024 that's been going on over on Blue Sky. And they have a fic every day or a piece of artwork that's up on AO3. And there's a lot of really cute, fluffy things in there. And
how do
really
people find that?
It's literally just, I believe it's just OFMD Advent Calendar 2024.
And that's a Blue Sky account,
yes.
Profile. Okay.
Exactly. Cute. And they're on AO3 as well.
Okay. Cute.
And there's even a cute little, you can do an RPG where you're Steed doing certain things. And you choose your own adventure things. Almost.
That's fun.
Nice. Aww. Thank you for sharing.
I have 2 that I want to recommend that are holiday themed, and one is called Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And it's by Mihaly, Mihaly. It's a steady hands fic. It's snowing. They're going to build a snowman. Ed throws a snowball at Izzy. Izzy gets upset. Steed has to bring them all together again. And, they fuck about it. So good times for everybody. And then another one is called Missile Foes.
Oh, that's cute.
And it is by Surprise Pink. And it is a stizzy, of course, Missile Foes. And it is a kind of a coffee shop AU type thing where Izzy is Steed's neighbor and Steed is like the pompous rich guy. And he has someone come to plow his driveway and snow blow the lawn, and it blows all the snow into Izzy's driveway. And he can't, he can't get his car out. So that's the great start to their story. And then they just irritate the shit out of each other until they find a festive holiday with each other and, make out and stuff. Good times, super fun. Love a stizzy everything.
Yay. And we'll drop those links in the show notes.
We will. And so to wrap up on this super long, super crazy holiday episode, what is everyone working on and where can people find you?
I am working on Haunted Hollywood Hour, and this week we have a really great story about an actual UFO abduction. Actually, that was last week. When this airs, it's going to be last week. But check out this Friday, whatever Haunted Hollywood Hour episode is up is going to be a banger. It's going to be intriguing. And if you haven't checked out the Haunted Hollywood Hour episodes previously, there are UFOs, there's ghosts, these are real stories that have actually happened in Hollywood. And
I recommend listening to at least the later ones, kind of in an order, because there was all these real time updates on this person's case. And you can kind of follow, if you're not familiar with the story, you can follow along with the podcast. And it was very interesting to hear how that all went out.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And so I'm on an episode.
Yes. And I want you on future episodes too. If you go outside and find a UFO in the sky and see one, then we can talk about UFOs.
Well, we do have a UFO nearby to here, a supposedly real UFO that has landed in Kecksburg, and it looks like a giant acorn. And it was on an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Wow. Maybe we should do an upcoming episode where I tell a LA-based UFO story and you tell that story.
Yes.
And that would be really fun. Yes. Yeah. But check out Haunted Hollywood Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
And where can people find you?
Carly? Me personally.
Yeah, you personally.
So my Blue Sky handle is Carly Heath on Blue Sky. And my Instagram is Carly Lynn Heath. And my AO3 is Yavid_Jenkins.
Yeah. All right, Abby, what are you up to and where can people find you?
I'm just still working on recaps. I'm several days behind. Sorry, y'all. And
please don't apologize.
Oh my gosh.
If you do any of more than one a week, I'm impressed.
It drives me crazy because I'm like, God, there's so much to remember. I just want
keeping up with the fandom is crazy, but you're creating this epic historical document.
But how cool is it that there's still so much stuff going on constantly that you're having daily updates with this fandom?
It's
that's impressive.
Yeah, and I was telling Carly before the show that I'm trying to get the repository, which is where I put all the recaps, a little more fleshed out, and I'd really like to have more fan spotlights and cover more stuff with the show, like every single nomination and every single award and more BTS and stuff. So if anybody would like to hop in with any of that, you're welcome to reach out to me at OFMD Recaps on Blue Sky and Tumblr and Twitter.
Oh, are you on Blue Sky now?
Yeah, I want to make sure that
I
I'm
follow you on
following
there.
too.
Yeah, that's exciting because I never go on Tumblr anymore. But Blue Sky's the new thing. All the cool
I
kids
love
are doing.
it. It's such a great place.
Yeah.
I'm following you already.
Excellent. Maybe I am too. I don't know. I have to check that out. Cool. All right. I am working on nothing, which is the best feeling ever.
Yay.
Using this time, I'm going to probably try to update my AO3 with I'm not update to now to where the Pornathon fics are. Going to try to add all those. Going to try to add this most recent round of Pornathon fics, including that holiday one. And I am spooky, scary gender fuck on AO3. And
that's the best name.
Thank you.
So good.
And I am Ringa-sun with 2 N's on every other damn place. Instagram. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. Blue Sky, Tumblr, Threads, everything. Just follow me there. We did it. Do creations, be cringe, and commit crime. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.
Happy holidays.